Hello, fellow grievers. In this episode, we're going to talk about how God is not disappointed in your grief. So, very shortly after, I would say both my parents died, there was a lot of guilt. And very closely related with the guilt was shame. Of first, it was the guilt that, like, I should have done this differently. I should have handled this better. Like, with my dad was in a lot of pain when he died. And me being a hospice nurse, I felt like I should have been able to fix that for him. And I couldn't. And then with my mom, it was just the guilt of like, oh man, if only like what if I would have called her that night and she would have been on the phone and so she wouldn't have been in her car. You're like, so there's all these what ifs and the blame game, right? And often sometimes we have somebody outwardly we can blame if your loved one died by somebody harming them or a car accident, right? Or if they were murdered. So we can kind of outwardly place the blame. But with that, that can kind of get in the way of us healing and looking at that and seeing the guilt and shame for what it is. So sometimes we can get stuck in that. Okay. So with I'm gonna start with the one with my dad because that one was it was very clear to me. I felt just really, really guilty. I felt really bad. I felt like I couldn't really say anything to anybody too because when I would kind of hint at how I felt bad about this, like, people be like, well, yeah, but like, what were you to do? You couldn't help, right? Like, it just kind of felt like it got pushed away. And then I would feel upset either at the other person, or I felt kind of like angry at them, or I wanted to like numb out, like not think about it, not deal with it. And then it's like, well, I should be handling this better. Like, look at so and so. Like, they aren't struggling through it as much. I would compare myself a lot to my siblings because it's like they're going through the same thing as I am. And I don't feel like they feel bad that this is happening. And later on down the line, I did learn that yeah, they did also struggle with some things, different ways. Again, a lot of it was how he was in pain, or maybe different things they'd said to my dad throughout their life. And like, so knowing that all these things can kind of bubble up, okay? And when these things come bubbling up, it shows us that there's healing that needs to be done. So for me personally, there was times in my life where I knew I did not appreciate my dad like maybe I should have, or that maybe he deserved, right? Because he would do things and I would like out of his love and generosity of his heart, he would. Okay, so I'll give a specific example. So I was a grown adult. I was in my probably this was shortly before he died. So I was in my early 30s. And I worked, my husband worked, we had 5 kids, I was pregnant, like, and my dad came and he commented on our driveway, how icy it was and how the snow wasn't cleared off and how we needed to shovel. Well, honestly, like we never thought much of it because we would just pull into our garage. So we didn't really think about it. And so my dad made this comment. And then a few days later, he drove, mind you, about an hour, he lived about an hour away. He drove hour one way to bring salt to lay down to get rid of the ice. And then he did that and then he left. And I was so mad about this. Okay. I was so mad. It's like, I'm a grown adult. I can take care of my own stuff. If it needed to be cleared off, I could have done it myself, yada, yada, right? All the things. And I was pretty upset with it. I think I was pretty short with him that day. And he didn't stay long because he had to go get to something. But I was like very unappreciative, very like almost teenagery, like snarky, snooty. And so this kept coming up in my mind, paired with like, and then you couldn't even help him not have pain, right? Like, so this was coming up how I treated him. It was pretty fresh in my mind. And so to me, it just showed like there was some wounds there from my childhood, some ways like I felt singled out or I felt like I wasn't good enough, right? So when my dad did this thing out of the love and generosity of his heart, I just felt like it was him telling me like, see, you can't even do this right. You're failing, right? That's what I heard when he did this very nice thing of unicing my driveway. And so just seeing that that is how our brain works is that something that has nothing to do with anything. My dad put down salt in my driveway, and my brain told me, see, he thinks you're a failure. And so just seeing that, right? Like knowing that there's some healing there for me because I have a wound that I don't think I'm good enough. That a lot of during my life, I felt like I was unlovable. I was the middle child. So this is where we then can look at that. And if you're not ready to start the healing, that's fine. But we can just be like, oh, like this keeps coming back up. I bet there's something unresolved there. I bet I have a wound that God keeps bringing this up so I can heal this wound. So he can heal this wound truly, because we can't really heal it. We can take some steps and do some things, right? But the true healer is God. He's the divine physician, right? So all these things that are hurts and wounds and pain, he can heal those. But he's not going to heal them if we keep trying to fix it ourselves and hide it away. Okay? Just like a doctor can't heal something that you don't bring to the doctor. They don't know that you're sitting in your house with a swollen leg that keeps getting worse and it's getting redder and you're pretty sure it's infected. The doctor has no idea. And God being God, right? He has an idea. But we also have free will and he's not going to just make us turn to him and ask for a healing. And so he's going to meet us where we're at. I like to think of the in the Bible the rich man, right? We don't even know his name. He was the rich man who God said, "Hey, like if you really want freedom, if you want the kingdom of God, sell all your possessions and come follow me." And the rich man couldn't do it. So you didn't see God chasing him through the streets. You didn't see God saying, "Shame on you. People like you are what the world is having problems." Like, no, he just let him go. And I don't know what happened with the rich man. I don't know if a month or two down the road, he was like, "Hey, you know what? Yeah, actually, I am going to do that. I'm ready now." Okay, so just know God will meet us where we're at. And he's always there waiting for us. And grief can be messy. It is it's inconsistent. It's uncomfortable, but it's still holy. It's still holy work when we keep turning to God. So again, a few practical, tangible things that I want to leave you with for the week that I want you to even just ask yourself or just to reflect upon. To look at and feel, okay, where first off, where am I feeling shame? Like where do I feel like I'm grieving wrong? Or even I like to say like where do I keep replaying conversations in my mind that never happened or haven't happened yet, or I've replayed them so much that I come up with a different narrative. That's when I know, like, oh, I think I'm stuck here. I think there's some healing that needs to be done. And then to just know to have such compassion for yourself that again, God's not there to like shame us and tell us how we're doing wrong. He's just there with open arms. And I like the thought, like, I'm allowed to grieve as I am. Okay. Because God is not going to belittle us. He's not going to be like, oh, if you just would have done this sooner. Like, no, we're allowed to grieve as we are. And if right now in this moment of time, you're not ready to look at those things, that's okay. Just know that we don't have to shame ourselves that it's not okay. And I always encourage people to talk to somebody. Okay. So if it's a friend, if it's me, to talk to somebody who's not going to try to fix you, who is not going to offer their advice, who's not going to, that will just sit with you and just be like, oh, I'm so sorry you're going through that. Do you need a hug? Right? Like somebody who's not going to try to fix the problem because you're not a problem. You're just grieving. And this is a journey and it's a long, slow journey. Right. And the last thing too is to know too that you can be that for yourself as well. And yes, I always encourage somebody to reach out, find a friend, find a family member, find a grief coach, talk to me like a counselor, somebody who is a safe place, but to always know that you can be that for yourself as well. It helps to have somebody outside of us, right? To kind of dive a little deeper with us. But we can always start by just placing your hand like on your chest, like on your neck or on your face, like a little skin to skin contact, right? Like, and just say, God is with me here. I'm okay. I'm safe. I'm loved. I'm not grieving wrong. God is with me here. And to know that you can be that safe place for yourself as well. So, if you feel like you want to start working towards the healing or moving to that next, or even if you're like, I don't even know. I don't even know. Like, I know that I feel awful and I know like things are buzzing in my mind all the time and I don't even know where to start. Start by going to catholicgriefcoach.com and book your free consult call with me. We will walk through all the things. All right, my friends, you are loved and we will take the next steps together.